Good morning and happy spring. Oh my goodness, it's the first day of spring today and the sun happens to be shining. It's still chilly here in Toronto, but I'm so grateful that this time of year is coming. The time of buds eventually coming, as long as we don't get any more snow. Hopefully they still like to poke through even if there is snow. So anyway, today I'm coming to you from Sprout Right headquarters, and let's talk about Easter. There are probably 2 or 3 times in the year when I see a huge spike in sickness, in runny noses, in just clients reaching out saying, I just can't get rid of this cold in my kid. It's in the family. It's going around us all. It's really, really difficult. So let's talk a little bit about what's coming. So first of all, change of season can without a doubt lead to more sickness and things like that. But what I find leads more to sickness is things like Easter, Halloween, Christmas, but definitely because we're coming up in the next couple of weeks to Easter, we've already got the Easter baskets ready. So I wanted to talk about let's have a healthier Easter. And there's some people that just think, oh, come on. Like, it's just that time of year. Right now, we're going to kind of go crazy with all the candies and the colors and the sugar and all of that stuff. But I want you to know that it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be all about crazy candies and sugars and all of those things. So as long as you set your kids up for knowing what's coming and that maybe this time it is a little bit different, if you've already had a different kind of tradition or those kind of things, so that they know what's coming, make them a part of all of this. So these are some of my favorite things to hide, these eggs, and I've got a whole basket full of different sizes here. You can get little ones, you can get big ones. What I tend to do, because I've got 2 kids, so I color code. So I'll make sure that there are equal, depends how you want to kind of do it in your house, whoever's the fastest. One of my daughters is really tall, so she's going to get anything that the Easter Bunny's left up really high. So if you want to color code so that it makes it a little bit equal, and then you can also make it a bit more age appropriate. So if your youngest is going to grab green, then first of all, that's great for colors and things like that, but also you can put something that's a little bit more age appropriate in here. So what do you put inside these plastic eggs? Pretty much anything that's a little on the healthier side. So in this one here, I have some dark chocolate almonds. They don't tend to get inhaled as quickly because dark chocolate just has a different taste. If you start your kids off with this kind of taste and flavor, it's all they know. It's what they're used to. You could take, a larger bar and break it up into pieces and put that in there. And then things like in this other little yellow one, I've got raisins. Now, before you groan and say, what, raisins? You gotta be kidding me that I'm gonna put this in here for my kids? Again, it's how you set it up. My kids, when we first started doing this, didn't know any different. This was, it's the hunt, it's the finding, it's just having so much fun while you're looking for this. And these guys are great to put outside as well, because they're not going to necessarily get eaten by the animals and things like that, depending on whether you do your hunt inside or outside. It just makes it so much more fun. You could also go and get some stickers and some crayons and all sorts of different things that maybe you hide like as a package with a particular name on it, and the Easter Bunny's little hand stamp or something like that on there too. So there are a lot of things that you can do that aren't always about the Easter Bunny big, the big eggs and all those kind of things stuffed with Smarties and Mars bars. I don't even know if that's one, or their favorite Star Wars characters or all of those kind of things, or the foil packaging on it is such and such. You can really keep that to such a minimum by buying smaller boxes. You can get the little much smaller instead of the monstrous ones, which would take them probably hopefully 2 to 4 months to get through all of that chocolate, depending on how much you're offering. But little things like this, because it's so much fun to find. And in our family, they've been hidden like a second time. So let's go around again. Let's make sure that we have more fun again. This time, one of the kids is going to hide them, and then, just different to the Easter Bunny is going to go around and do all of this. But then when it comes to re-hiding it, that can be just as much fun, and they can keep on they just keep grabbing their basket and keep on going around again and again and again. And then there's other things that happen. Maybe there's more sugary treats. There's the hot cross buns. There's all of those kind of things. Have you ever tried to make a hot cross bun? I have not yet, but I do have a daughter who's a baker. So this year she wants to give it a go. That'll be fine. They have come across different hot cross buns, more chocolatey ones than the typical fruit ones. So again, you've got to choose well and make sure that you load them up on that protein. They are going to be high as a kite on all the sugar if there's so much of it. And then you've got to get the eggs in at breakfast. You can make them some French toast. On the blog on sproutright.com, search for overnight French toast, which is a fantastic prepare the night before French toast with 2 layers of bread, some blueberries on the inside. It's just delicious. And then put that in the oven in the morning while you're doing the hunt, and in about 30 minutes, then you're going to have breakfast already ready to go. Another thing to do as you kind of go into this sugar fest, if you're still going to do all the chocolate and all the candies, really try and keep those colors to a minimum. They do set kids off in all sorts of strange ways. It's a funny thing, but if I'm going to get any more sweets and things like that, really sugary type of stuff, or anything with colors, I should say, really, then I go to my local British store. Now, I did all my training in London, England, and I also, I lived there for 15 years. They seem to be further ahead when it comes to things like colors and preservatives, and they have found ways. So if you nip off to the British store, if you really need to have some sugary treats, jelly babies, or I don't know, something like that, then know that most of those colors that they have in there are not artificial colors like tartrazine, and things like that, which really do tend to affect more sensitive kids. So really great to change that up. So I'm not necessarily saying that you have to stay away from everything, but any step forward that you can make so that it is slightly healthier and you're minimizing everything and getting your kids used to whatever normal it is that your family has. In our family, it wasn't normal to have the really big eggs and all those kind of things. It was things like raisins inside these little plastic eggs, which they still absolutely adored finding and had so much fun doing. So boost their immune system before we go into this, depending on how much sugar that you've got going in there. So I've got my collection of probiotics. I apologize if that's backwards, but depending on your kid, you've got HMF powder, you've got HMF intensive for those kids that are just not kicking whatever it is. HMF forte is a little bit more of a maintenance dose. Vitamin C, of course, has to go in. Echinacea, there's a toddler immune boosting package and preschooler immune boosting package, both on sproutright.com. If you need any more information or me to break that down, then you can certainly reach out and ask. I'm always happy to help to explain, but things like echinacea go into that. Something called Immugen, which is so amazing for kids and their immune system, and the whole family can take these too. So if you're still suffering with the flu, I've seen, different posts from people saying, oh, I'm still sick. When is this going to go away? A child who still has strep throat and it's just not going away. They're not kicking it. So we got to get in deeper. We got to really, really boost so much. And of course, the best way to do that is through colorful foods, fruits and vegetables. So if you put all of that out onto the Easter morning table, and your kids are hungry, they're going to go for the berries, they're going to go for all those lovely, beautiful, sweet foods that are more natural than what we typically find for Easter morning of, just a craziness of chocolate. I can remember as a child getting those bunnies, the flat sort of bunnies that just chocolate was just awful. And because I used to get migraines then I wasn't able to have chocolate. I was only able to have white chocolate. So it was even more waxy and horrible, those bunnies. And sometimes I think they might have had like Rice Krispies in it or something like that. Maybe they're still on the shelves now, but boy, that is no real quality of chocolate right there. So if you're going to give chocolate to your kids, give them the good stuff. Get them onto dark chocolate. If they don't know any different, it's the perfect time to start. So I don't want to put, a complete on the Easter festivities. So I hope that I've given you some ideas and some suggestions of how to do this Easter thing in a new way, in a way that is healthier for the family. So enjoy the Hoppy-Hoppy type of celebration. No matter what you do, go grab yourself some of these just from the dollar store, and you can reuse them. I have a bag that I put out each year for the Easter Bunny to come, and then the Easter Bunny fills them up and then hides them. So they're great. They're reused every single year. So it's a super duper way of having a really fun Easter. Thanks so much for joining me this morning. And if you have any comments, of course, comment below, or you can check us out on sproutright.com for lots more good, fun information. All right. Happy Easter. Happy Hoppy-Hoppy, some people say. So anyway, take good care. Bye.